Okay, let me just show you how these formulas can be used when you deal with timelines, because it's very important for you to know if they are depositing or they are withdrawing. Okay, I will write maybe 4 of them here, then we explain them one by one. One plus interest rate to the power n, then we plus 1 plus interest rate to the power n, then maybe the third one, a equals p 1 plus interest rate to the power n plus 1 plus interest rate to the power n. Then let's subtract the brackets 1 plus n to the power n, plus I to the power n. Then the last one. So make sure that you understand what I'm going to say right here. This is very, very important. You will see your teachers using formulas that are similar to these or these formulas. Okay, let's subtract again the factor to the power n. Okay, now as you can see that all of these formulas, if you can look at them, they are different. They are different, as you can see. Some are added, some are subtracted, and some are multiplied. So this one right here, the first formula, let's call it the first formula. Let's say we're given 5 years of an investment. Then for the first 3 years, they tell us information about it. Then that first 3 years is going to be this part. If you watched that video before this one, then from 5 minus 3, we're going to have 2 years. Then the 2 years, we are actually putting it on this factor here because we are not withdrawing or depositing. It is the continuation of for us to actually complete the 5 years. So there's nothing that we do in there, just the continuation. So that's the formula that we use. But when it comes to this one, I think you'll see this when we do questions, or if you understood the previous video. So on this one here, this is the first startup of the investment. Then as you can see the plus here, it means that we are adding extra money on that first opening of the investment. I hope it makes sense. Then this one, so this is actually the start. This part is the start of an investment or whatever it is. Then when we add now, it means that we are depositing extra money on the first payment, on the first deposit. Then there's what again? There's the negative. We're subtracting. It means that we are withdrawing here. So it's very important for you guys to know this. Whenever you're given a question, check if after the first the initial deposit, are they adding or are they withdrawing? So here we are subtracting or we are withdrawing, and we also withdraw whatever amount. So it's very important that whenever you are given a statement, the first one, it is for initial deposit. Then check after that one if the person made a withdrawal or a deposit. That's very, very important. So if you understand what I'm saying here, it will be easy for you to understand timelines even without actually drawing the timeline. If you can understand what I'm saying here, that will be actually your score. I hope it makes sense. So after the first deposit, check if they are adding or subtracting. So if we add or if we plus, it means that we are adding money or we are depositing money. But if we will subtract, it means that we made or we are making a withdrawal. I hope it makes sense. Then if it is times, it is just the continuation to complete the number of years, the total number of years. This is very powerful. Make sure that you understand it. Make sure if you didn't understand, rewind the video. This is important. If you jump it, it will actually find you forward. Okay, let's make one example so that we can understand whatever that I was saying here. So finance needs you to know these things. You must know how to interpret the statement. Know that after the first payment, the person withdraw or deposit, or maybe the continuation of completing the number of years. So Mr. Cenge here, Mr. Cenge's bank, an honorable person. Mr. Cenge's bank is a very respected person in my neighborhood. Mr. Cenge's bank offers 3% per annum. Compounded monthly. So this is a compounding period, which is 12, right? On his saving or on his savings account. Then he opens, Mr. Cenge opens the account with a, let me make sure that my handwriting is well so that Mr. Cenge can see it properly. He opens the account with a deposit of 12,000. Mr. Cenge is serious. He's a very serious man. That's why I said he's a respected person and or an honorable man. So he opens the account with a deposit of 12,000. Then a year later, there's something that Mr. Cenge, a year later, he deposited, or he deposits 5,000. You see? Okay, the first deposit was 12, that was the initial. Then a year later, he deposits, meaning we add the 5,000. And another 2 years later, he withdraws 8,000. You see, first payment of the investment of the savings, then we add because he deposits extra money. Then we do what? Lastly, we subtract. Why? Because he withdrew 8,000. I hope whatever I was doing now it makes sense. Okay, so the formula that we're going to use here, let me just show you quickly, then we'll interpret everything. We saw that the first deposit, it was what? It was 12,000. Let me finish the statement. Okay. So let me show you this quickly, then we interpret our thing. Mr. Cenge's bank offers 3% per annum compounded quarterly on his savings account. So he opens the account with a deposit of 12,000. This is the initial. So let me show you the initial. A year later, he deposits. That's why I said we add. When you deposit, we add. When we withdraw, we subtract. If it is the continuation, you times. I hope that makes sense. So let me show you this. This is the first deposit. Then we add the 5,000, right? Multiply by that factor. Then after that, he withdraws 8,000. That's why we subtract. I hope it makes sense as I was actually explaining those different 4 formulas. The first thing, it's important for you to know how to, what you must check after the first deposit is that did the person withdraw or to make a deposit, or it is just the continuation. So this is the formula that we're going to use. This is the first deposit, then he deposited 5,000 a year later, right? Then after 2 years, he did what? He withdraws 8,000. That's why we're having this formula. So let's actually calculate what they want us to calculate. So the number of years totally, it's 5 years. So he deposited that 12,000, not knowing that is going to deposit another money or withdraw. So the number of years totally is what? Is 5. We're going to take that 5 and we multiply it with the compounding period. So here we're going to have 0.03 over 12 to the power 60. 12 times 5, because they didn't know that it's going to deposit. Then after that, after a year, deposits how much? 5,000. Then after a year from that 5, we are left with 4 years. I hope it makes sense. So it's going to be that 0.03 again, because they didn't give us other interest rates for Mr. Tsenge's deposits or withdrawals. 0.03 over the compounding period, the same compounding period monthly. It's over 12. Then what about n? Remember, the total number of years is 5. Total number of years is 5. This for the first year. It's 5 years. Then after a year later, we subtract 1, we're going to be left with 4. So it's going to be 4 times 12, which is 48. Then after you withdraw, how much? 2 years later, you withdraws 8,000. So after 2 years, it will be 4 minus 2. You're left with 2 years to complete the 5. I hope it makes sense. So it's going to be 8,000, 1 plus 0.03 over 12. Then the remaining 2 years times what? Times the 12. It's going to give us 24. So the amount that you will have, it's what? A equal to, because it is the accumulated amount or the future rate, is 11,081.99. That's the amount that is going to have. You see, this is for the initial payment with the total number of years, and if you didn't know that it's going to add another amount of money, that's why we added here the 5,000. And another 2 years later, he did what? He withdrew 8,000. I hope it makes sense, guys. This is very, very important. E bohlokwa ntho eo ka Sesotho.